Hello, everybody. It's so lovely to see you. And today is our third and final co created Bealtaine story. And I'm just so proud and delighted to bring it to you. The people who helped co create this story were Liam Cummins, Terri Ryan, Godfrey Coppinger, Michelle Gupta, um, Michelle, Ray McKinley, Paddy Regan, Noreen Moylan, Mary O'Donovan, Sean Healy, and Sharon Dickson. And it was kindly funded by the Bealtaine Hero Award. So we're so happy to have co created these stories for you, and we hope you get much joy from them. Yeshi was a small little smiling man, and to the children among us, he must have seemed as if he was 100 years old. He was always smiling and laughing and telling funny stories. And people thought about Yeshi that he gave very wise advice, but often they didn't come to this conclusion until 2 or 3 weeks after they had ignored the advice. Yeshi lived in a little village that had a big factory. It was noisy there, full of machines and deadlines. It was hot and oppressive. It was gritty and it was oily. They had deadlines to meet every day, so there was lots of shouting and demanding. And through it all, there was Yeshi. He had a knack of coming in the morning and opening up a window. And if your machine happened to be under that window, you might see a patch of blue sky, or feel a drop of soft, cooling rain, or hear a bird singing outside, calling you out to play. And he made the best tea. It was like magical tea, and people couldn't wait for their break. And they would go straight down to the canteen where Yeshi had all the big tea machines waiting. But he also had a story or a song or something funny to tell you that would lift you up out of your day and bring you into the land of imagination. And when it wasn't break time, he'd turn on the radio, and he had a fondness for 80s music. So you'd often hear songs like Come a come a come a come a come a camellia, red, gold and green, red, gold and green. And you'd see Yeshi walking along with his little tea trolley, and he dancing away in time to the music. One day the music stopped and the death notices came on, and it said, Nellie O'Shea has passed away this day. And he just stopped and seemed to look older than normal, and big fat tears started running down Yeshi's face. Nellie! Ah, Nellie, he said. Poor Nellie. And he made his way to the canteen. One by one, people began to turn off their machines. The place became silent. No one could ever remember it being silent before. And then they made their way towards the canteen and made a big circle around Yeshi. Tell us about Nellie, they said. And he told them all the special things, how she knew what to do with herbs to make anything better, how she could bring a smile out of a stone statue, how she was the light of his life, and how he had passed her cottage this morning and heard her singing an old song, something like Trasnana down to Dulshire, Dulshire, slán leis an witness is slán leis an fear. And everybody began to join in, and this old Irish song took on the reverence of a hymn. And at the end of the song, something happened. Yeshi began to smile again. He looked like the old Yeshi, and he began to clap his hands. She's not gone, he said. Sure, when I looked in her window this morning, didn't I see the fair folk, and they standing in a circle around her? This circle of people now reminds me of that. And they all held hands, and she put out her hands and joined the circle. She's not dead, he said. She's gone to Tirnanog, the land of the forever young. Come on, he said, who's with me? And one by one, they all left that factory. Nobody clocked out. They walked down the silent streets of the village towards Nelly's house, and they opened the door and went inside. Nobody knows what happened, but those people never turned up again. If you go to Nelly's house, you can smell the beautiful wild lavender and garlic that grows in her garden. You can see the foxgloves there, and on the wind, in the distance, on a sunny day, you can hear Come, 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 camellia, red, gold, and green, red, gold, and green.